Why do I sound muffled on the podcast?
I don't know.
Why do I not sound right?
I don't know.
Something happened to the audio.
How do you do? We're about to unfold the story of
Ghost of Frankenstein.
My son, would you destroy that which I, your father, dedicated his life to creating? What if it had another brain?
Whose brain?
Your brain.
Power! What good is a brain without eyes to see?
I warned you that you might regret this action.
Well, we've warned you.
You've been warned. Welcome back to Frankenstein Minute, the podcast that dissects the Universal Frankenstein film series minute by minute. What do you...
I can't tell. I didn't get a chance to look over it.
What are you looking at?
Quasimodo is what that's about.
What the hell? Where was I? Oh, I'm Thom Lang.
I'm Bill Evenson. Welcome to the podcast. We are dissecting the Frankenstein film series, and we are dissecting minute 8.
Now you sound like you're on NPR.
All New Thrills, The
Welcome
Ghost of
back to
Frankenstein.
the podcast.
The original movie with the thing.
All the new thrills.
All the new thrills. Yeah, there's no repeat thrills on this. Actually, there are. We haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
Some repeats. In which Igor says, "We go to the country, a better country than this."
But
so thank you. Well, so my original note was, "Are they going to a different country?" Well, I might as well just say it all then.
Yeah.
But in the script, Igor says, "We shall go far into the country." Well, maybe I should give it to you to read in your Igor voice.
we shall go far into the country. Better country than this.
See, it's not far off.
Yeah.
And there's a subtitle issue I think you're going to mention.
Yes, subtitle issue, because he does not say a better country.
He doesn't say better. That's huge.
Yeah, that makes
because it's
big...
incomprehensible.
Yeah,
or not incomprehensible, but very confusing.
Nonsensical otherwise, yeah.
We're on the same page. I like it. I can tell.
Yes, we are, because
are they going to a different country? You could be left with that impression even without the subtitles.
Right.
But the subtitles are only going to make it worse.
Make it worse.
And the script is slightly better because he says, "We shall go far into the country." To say "to the country" is different than "into the country."
Yes, I agree.
Nobody told Bela that.
No.
It's all right. Bela's English has always been a concern.
Yeah.
But it's really good. He's really good at speaking English.
He's fine.
He's got some
there's
work to
certain
do.
idioms that he doesn't get.
Yeah.
And that could be anybody learning a second language.
Yeah.
To be fair.
And I guess there's some context to it that maybe, I don't know. Because when he says, "We go to the country," that's pretty much right.
Yeah.
A better country than, it doesn't matter. They're not going to another country.
A different
They're
country.
going out into the country.
They turn there and make their way through the cemetery. We fade to black.
Well, first, Cheney kicks a tombstone.
Oh, that's,
over.
yeah.
You're not going to let that go, are you?
I forgot to write it down, but yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Oh, you did just try to skip ahead?
No.
Is your love or your hatred for Son of Frankenstein so
It's
bad that you're
you're
going to try and not point out when Cheney, in the center of the screen, kicks over a 4-foot-high tombstone?
No, I meant to write it down and I totally forgot.
Okay. This is a high-quality production. This isn't your Roland V. Lee, fucking just get it out there.
It's
maybe
not,
the film was still wet when they sent it out. This is an A picture.
This happens in Plan 9 from Outer Space as well. So, although, I mean,
that's
the monster probably could...
Not a good thing,
No,
right?
I'm not.
When you compare it to...
I'm saying it's a bad error, but it could, the monster is big and clumsy. It's not...
That's true. I kind of was wondering if you would say that. It's real.
Something that Frankenstein would deal with every day.
Frankenstein would deal with every day. If people, I assume people know. It's weird. We make these jokes every so often, and then people are like, "Why were you doing that?" I'm like, "I don't know." Dino asked me, "Why were you saying that the town wasn't called Frankenstein?" I'm like, "I don't know." I had to think about it later, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I remember." Because it's dumb. Yeah. It's dumb that it was called Frankenstein. So we had a running bit where I was trying to pretend like that it wasn't that, and I lost, basically. Yeah. But anyways, here there's no getting around it.
No, that's clearly a mistake.
Yeah. No, I was going to say that's right. I was going to say here you're making an Ed Wood joke.
Ed Wood, yeah.
Yeah. If people haven't picked up on that yet, Ed Wood.
The movie Ed Wood, yes.
Tor Johnson walks into a wall. We just did this bit.
We did that
3 months ago.
We don't need to do it again.
And cut. Perfect. Print it. Let's move on.
Don't you want to do another take, Ed? Looks like Big Baldy had a little trouble getting through the door.
No, it's fine. It's real. In actuality, Lobo would have to struggle with that problem every day.
This is where the Superman music comes in then. Once it fades to black and you get that lightning strike, which I believe is the same footage that's been used in Frankenstein and Son.
It looks good, though.
Yeah, it's a great... It shows up...
Nothing wrong with it.
That same lightning strike shows up in TV shows, and I mean, they got a lot of mileage out of it.
Here's my thing. This is the second time in 2 weeks that I've written just the word edit. Here I wrote another edit. Last week, the edit was they were in the castle, they were starting to go up a tunnel, and then all of a sudden they were in the cemetery.
Right.
Then there's another edit where now I think they live in a cave.
They totally, they totally...
they had set up shop in a cave.
Yeah, they
it's
totally...
become very domestic.
Totally
and they're like, eliminate all the domestic stuff.
The script has them just approach, hey, look, there's a cave, we can hide in there.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Okay.
Then this happens, so that they haven't even made it to the cave yet. Okay. But it is weird...
When you watch it, you can see them coming out of the cave.
Coming out of the cave.
So it's clear they were in a cave.
Yeah, so it's kind of fuzzy, it's abrupt.
So are Igor and the monster like sleeping in a cave?
I think
and then the monster hears lightning and comes running out.
I assume.
That's what we assume. That's reasonable. That is probably what happened.
Right.
But it's just weird that this movie has suddenly done this a couple of times.
Yeah, where it's these leaps of...
Without... And maybe it's all for the better and an action sort of...
it keeps the pace going.
Going, not to stop and explain everything.
Yeah.
Like have Igor go, look, they're cave.
It's kind of what happens in the script.
Okay.
Yeah, so they have these sort of weird elliptical edits where all of a sudden they're out of the castle in the graveyard.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they're out of the graveyard and they're in just cave.
And then they're out of the cave.
They're out of just cave.
We gotta go stand outside the cave and run around in a lightning storm.
Lightning, it splits a tree. It's kind of a cool effect.
I think that I love it. Again, I love that. I love the tree coming into pieces. That looks real. It feels like it has weight again because it's a practical effect.
Yeah.
It's a real
tree,
presumably. Although I know a guy who used to make fake trees.
No, he likes that tree as well.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I have it on good authority that...
We haven't talked about your old job making trees in a while.
No, we don't have to.
Did you like making trees?
I liked the actual process, but I did not like the company for which I worked.
Okay. So now, if they had asked you to make a tree that would get hit by lightning and fall apart like that...
I thought it would have been great. That would have been a blast.
Be like overjoyed.
Yeah, that would have been a blast.
Yeah.
There was a few weeks ago, there was a big lightning storm here.
Oh, okay.
And we were up sitting watching TV in our den, and all of a sudden, all this flashing, looked like it was right out of the window. Just loud and like, what the fuck? The lights didn't flicker. Mm-hmm. Nothing went off. I'm like, what the hell was that? So I go outside in the middle of this thunderstorm, and I'm looking around, and everything looks fine.
And Dawn is behind you going, no!
Yeah. No! So I'm looking up like on the roof. Did it hit the antenna?
Yeah.
Because we have an old 50s antenna on the roof that I just keep up there because it looks cool.
50. Is it really?
Yeah, I don't know. 60s because that's when the house was built.
Oh.
Nothing. I couldn't find anything anywhere. The next morning, there's a big white streak, the neighbor's tree.
Oh, wow.
Hit, and it must have because it hits the ground and it'll shoot across.
Lightning well?
Yeah. It looked, honest to God, it looked like it was right outside of our window, but it was like 40 feet away. So it must have just, because of everything being wet, the electricity must have just went everywhere.
Interesting.
Because I had to reset our doorbell.
And it just fried it?
Yeah.
In some way?
Yeah, it did something goofy to it. And we have lights that are on,
like
when it gets dark, they come on. What do you call that?
I don't know. Timer?
Yeah. No, it's not a timer, but it's, it's got a sensor that, and that was off. And what happened here? So it affected things.
It's not the motion detector lights, is it?
No, not in front.
Okay. They just go on.
They go on when it starts to get dark.
And you can reset that? Or you just waited and the next night
I turned it off. I turned the switch off.
Ah, okay.
Waited a few minutes, turned it back on, and it was fine.
All right. Yeah, I guess we have that too, now that you mention it. Yeah, we have a switch. What's funny is that I didn't know there was a switch.
Oh, I never turned it off.
Yeah, you don't mess with it.
Yeah, the monster rushes out.
Oh, the rain. I wanted to talk about the rain.
Yeah.
The way they represent the rain. So there's when they first show the monster trying to get hit, so he's trying to get struck by lightning.
Basically, yeah.
And then the screen does this weird wobbly thing that kind of looks a little bit like maybe it's raining. I can't quite get my head around it.
Yeah,
but you don't actually see any water.
No, it's got a little bit of shimmer or something.
Like a shimmer.
To it. Yeah, but it doesn't go all the way through.
Is it raining? It must be raining.
It doesn't go all the way through the whole scene, though.
No, just for a bit.
That brief moment.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, Igor wants him to do anything but go after the lightning because he's just all beside himself.
Yep. Igor, by the way, I was going to mention him with regards to that shot. Roland V. Lee did a similar shot where Igor was out in the rain, and he was just getting fucking
just
drenched.
Yeah.
It's just drenched. So this production seems to be less about torturing Lugosi.
Yeah.
The teeth are gone.
Yeah.
The hump is come and go.
Yeah.
Just could you limp a little, maybe? Look a little bit
give it a little something, yeah. Yeah, another nearby lightning strike. Monster chases after that. Igor.
It's really kind of dumb that he's just like moving to where the lightning just struck.
Was, yeah. Igor.
But at least what it does is visually represent that you
get the idea then, oh, okay, he's trying to harness the lightning.
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah.
Because if he didn't do that, he just stood with his arms outstretched, it'd be kind of like, what is his deal?
You know, arms outstretched made me remember, I don't think I put it down. Yeah, I did. We laughed when we were watching it.
Yeah.
Because to me, what I was laughing about was Lugosi's like, I'm calling him Lugosi. Doesn't matter. Lugosi comes over to Cheney like, no. And Lugosi brushes him off violently.
No, Cheney brushes Lugosi off.
Or I'm sorry, you're right, absolutely. Cheney brushes Lugosi off violently, but in reality, it's not. He's so committed to just having his arms outstretched.
Yeah, that he just sort of...
That he just slides his arms over slightly. Yeah. It's like, are you locked into a fucking back brace?
Yeah.
You can't just push a guy? It's weird because later in the movie, Lugosi. I hope I keep doing that for 67
that'll be great.
Weeks. Later in the movie, Cheney is a very imposing physical
Very
partner.
physical, yeah.
If there's anything he does right in this movie, and I'm not convinced there is,
and I'm not going to argue.
It's that. It's some of the physical shit he does that you're like, holy fuck, he's going to kill him.
In his defense in this scene, he has not been rejuvenated by the lightning yet.
No, that's true. So that was his. Kent and Kate took him aside and said, look, Lon Jr. Lonnie. He called
little Lonnie.
Earl called him Lonnie. We're going to put a limit on how many of these we record in a day.
I know.
There's only so many you can do.
Let's move on. But yeah, it does look goofy. We both laughed at it.
Yeah. Then he gets struck by lightning.
Yeah, and the goofiness doesn't end.
Well, I think the actual part where the lightning sort of knocks him almost down.
Yeah.
Where he crouches kind of.
Yeah.
It's awkward, but I think it's effective. He got hit by lightning.
I am so
you just
tempted
think it's dumb, like
take
a dance.
that clip and do the Purina cat chow with it, make him up and down.
Yeah, it's silly.
I mean, I understand the thought behind it. It looks a little silly.
Yeah, I guess I like it better than you do. I just like that because they're trying to shoot for something, I almost want to say iconic, but you don't really shoot for that. It's dramatic, and the music is way too...
Oh, the music, this whole scene, this is where Dino is absolutely 100% right.
Oh, he criticized Ghost music?
Yeah.
Okay. But he hated the Sun music. No,
he doesn't
like music.
He doesn't like music, I guess. But it absolutely sounds like it's from the old Superman TV show.
I can't believe it. This is I tried to say this to Jackie maybe this morning. So it's like Superman action adventure music. But I specifically thought of that. The
old George Reeve. Yeah.
And that show is similar to this sort of thing, which is, you're in a little box and there's no adventure happening, so you have to you
have to really pump up the jam.
Yeah, we agree. There's the music is preposterous, but I also can sort of get into the spirit of it because I'm watching Ghost of Frankenstein.
I get it. I get. Yeah, the spirit is willing. The orchestra is weak. I don't know.
There you go.
No, they're playing to save their lives.
We talked about it the other week. Salter was proud of his score, and he should be.
No, yeah, I think. Certainly the previous sections have been great.
Yeah,
it's just that da is a little.
Well, it's heroic. It seems heroic.
Yeah, it just seems.
I don't know if I'm wrong.
No, it seems misplaced.
Or if maybe that music is more.
Well, I think it's supposed to be slightly triumphant because once he is struck by lightning, it doesn't happen here, but he starts to stand up and hey, I'm back, baby.
Yeah.
So I think it's maybe supposed to convey that, but it comes in with that too early.
Okay.
As soon as we see the lightning flash, it's ba-ba-da.
Well, then I think they do a couple of things to try to make the actual lightning strike dramatic.
Yeah.
The music, and the next thing you see is Lugosi inadvertently one of his hands pops up and he makes a face.
Completely, I wrote he's completely agog.
Bela's face.
He's agog, I wrote.
He's agog. Perfect. And it reminds me.
It's not a term that I use lightly.
No, I appreciate that. I mean, I think if you went back and looked at the transcripts of our previous episodes, I've never heard you say
I use it very sparingly. And what were you saying?
It
before
reminds
I
me of the
interrupted?
movie, as so many things do. It reminds me of the movie Friday the 13th, Part 6, where Jason is actually dead. They killed him in Part 5. He's been dead. Actually, I think they killed him in Part 4. I think it's a different guy in Part 5. So he's been in his grave. Not long enough that he's maggots and shit.
Moldering corpse, yes.
And the kid from Part 5 has grown up, and he's, God damn it, he's got to really make sure he's dead. So the way you do that is you dig him up.
During a torrential downpour,
during a thunderstorm. So you dig him up, and then you stab him. I mean, what have you got with you to stab him than a lightning rod? I think it's just a metal thing, but he stabs him with lightning, and then the lightning hits the metal piece that's in Jason's corpse. It's like skeleton with maggots.
Yeah.
And then you watch the body form back around it, and it's very amazing and effective. And it's like, if I tell you, hey, there's a movie I like called Friday the 13th, you don't even hear Part 6. You just start walking away.
Okay.
But it's actually really fun, and that's probably the best part in it.
Being stuck at home still,
I
decided, I'm going to revisit some of the biggies, right?
Okay. What were the biggies?
Well, because I watched that In Search of Darkness, and so there was obscure things that I hadn't seen, so I sought those out. But I thought, okay, Hills Have Eyes. I remember that being terribly effective when I first saw it. Didn't hold up.
Okay.
Not scary.
I don't know if I've ever seen it, but I know what it is.
Not scary at all, really. And I remember
Is that weird dude from the Motley Crue video in that one?
I have no idea.
Is there a weird looking guy?
There's a weird looking guy.
Is he bald?
Yeah.
That's the guy.
Michael Berryman.
Oh, yeah. That's his name.
Then I also watched, I watched Halloween. That's still great.
Yeah, I watch it all the time.
Yeah, I watched the Dead trilogy, the Romero. Dawn of the Dead is still just absolutely perfect.
Oh,
despite its flaws, it's marvelous. I love it.
What a strange place to start.
I love that movie.
There's some shade being thrown on either side of that one to start with that.
No, not necessarily, because Night of the Living Dead is marvelous.
Okay.
They all three are.
Yes.
In their own way.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think
touch and go.
Dawn always has a place in my heart, because it's the first one I saw of the
That
three.
sounds sweet that you would say Dawn always has a place.
Yeah, she does, because that's my wife's name as well.
But yes, they all. I love that you call it the Romero trilogy.
Yeah.
Because if he had died after making the third one, we would have that, because it is. They are so three distinctly different films, and it's amazing to think the same guy made three distinctly different zombie films.
But then he
didn't stop making. Zombie films.
6 distinct zombie films. I like Land of the Dead.
It's not bad.
It's got a nice message, and the other two, what is it?
No one knows. No one's ever seen them.
Diary of the Dead and Survival of the Dead.
You didn't watch those then?
I have seen them. Yeah,
I've seen parts. I can't even get through.
Yeah, they're not good. Sorry,
the one I saw
George.
Was like garbage. It looked like it cost 25 cents.
Well, it's the found footage. I don't like.
Found footage.
I hate that.
Even a scene of found. No, I shouldn't say that. Found footage should be a scene.
Yeah, not an entire fucking movie. Like Blair Witch. Everybody was like, "Oh, is it real?" I'm like, this is terrible.
I liked it.
I thought
but
it was.
But it's the only time.
Poor.
I never want to see it again. So, you watched the Dead trilogy. When you first said it, I thought you meant Evil Dead, Dead 2, and Army of Darkness.
Oh, and what else did I watch? Friday the 13th.
Okay, the first one.
Because I hadn't seen it.
There are things that are good about it.
I hadn't seen it since I saw it in the theater.
Yeah.
Again, didn't find it particularly scary at all. And the effects, sorry, Tom Savini, but they were pretty poor.
Yeah.
You could tell what was going to happen, because anytime anybody had a rubber appliance glued to them, it was a different color than their skin, and there was a very distinct line.
Oh, really?
Where the appliance ended and the real person began. Like Kevin Bacon getting the arrow through the neck.
Through the throat?
They're like, oh, here it comes, because you can see the edge of the makeup. And I don't know I don't know if it's because of the transfer that I watched.
Yeah, too good.
If it always looks that way. I don't remember
I see.
it.
Yeah.
I don't remember it being that obvious when I saw it, but it was 1980.
Friday the 13th Part 6 is what this reminds me of.
Okay.
So go and watch 6. Don't watch 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You could, I guess. If you got a lot of
6
time.
was the director was fan of these Universal films.
Yeah.
So he kind of wanted that flavor, and he also wanted it to have a little more of a sense of humor.
Yes. And that's the thing about this minute, too. It isn't just that the guy gets struck by lightning and it brings him back to life, although that's the biggest part. It's also that drama of witnessing that happening.
Right.
that doesn't necessarily have to be a big, gigantic, bombastic, dramatic moment.
Right.
But it should be, because it's awesome.
Well, that's, you know.
And in this case, it's not that
it's
great.
not
It's just
that
a guy
great.
who's covered in white shit
Yeah,
still.
yeah.
Who's like, oh, get this off of me.
All right.
Was this all done in one day?
No.
So he was sprayed with that white shit
I'm sure for several
weeks?
days. I don't think weeks, because this only had a month of shooting.
Okay.
Several days anyway. So, anything else?
I got nothing. Oh, wait.
What is that?
I heard something.
What do I
It
hear?
sounds like Tom saying something.
Got any more questions, wise ass?
That can only mean one thing. I can only imagine it's time for Got Any More Questions, Wise Ass, brought to you this week by patreon.com/Frankenstein Minute. Now, if you go to patreon.com/Frankenstein Minute, you can sign up, and it's so simple, even my sister can do it. That's just a little bit of a gag, because she actually I saw her, and she said, I couldn't figure out how to do it. I'm like, okay, what? So she figured it out. Okay. Like her college entrance exams were high enough that she could be in Mensa, but she can't figure out how to fucking give me $2. Whatever. Can you cut all this? Mike Herman.
Hey, Mike.
Again, we're going back a ways. Is the theme song this season going to be Lugosi yelling "Boomer" over and over, set to the music? Because I would be on board with that. Now, I have an answer for you, Mike. My answer is I hope not. Because I made one like that. You didn't use it.
I used it twice, and I'm not going to.
That's what's on
forward.
it?
Yeah,
that's what's on it this week?
Yeah, not this week, but the first 2 weeks. Of
this week is, okay.
Oh, you mean this?
I got it.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
This week, last week.
Episode 4.01 and 4.02.
Oh.
And I only did it just because I thought it was funny, but yeah.
It's not that funny.
That can grow annoying, so yeah, no.
Okay, good. Mike Herman writes,
Oh,
Tom,
another one.
Are we getting a Boomer t-shirt in the Redbubble store? It would make my life complete. Thank you. And then someone named...
I think somebody already answered that, yeah.
Tom Lang says, keep watching the skies, or at least keep watching this group. I believe we're switching from Redbubble to Cafe Press, but we'll keep you posted. So one of the reasons to say this is so we actually do it. Because we have a Cafe Press store, but we haven't really talked about it. And we should probably really get that up and running.
Yes.
We don't have everything on there yet.
Okay.
It was a real bummer. We just keep getting kicked off.
Yeah, what did
Because
you
we're
know?
just a bunch of cynical assholes trying to rip people off, apparently.
Do you know why
No comment at all.
Okay, yeah.
Just, you're done.
Huh.
Did I not show you the email?
No, you just sent me a message saying that
it's very final. It's just like, well, that's it. That's the end of you, buddy. Fuck off. They don't. I don't think it's exactly that, but it might have been.
Words to that effect.
Words to that effect. Let's see here. Your Redbubble account has been suspended. Hello, William. We're already off to a fucking shitty start.
It's already bad.
So this is our next Got Any More Questions, Wise Ass.
Yeah.
Redbubble writes in, Hello, William. We're writing to let you know your account has been suspended. Accounts may be suspended for the following reasons. There was fraudulent activity connected to the account. The products listed in the shop may not have been originally created by the user, such as mass-produced art reproductions, stock images, or vector packs. The shop may have contained products that could be misleading to consumers, such as claiming to be products not offered on the Redbubble marketplace or possessing inaccurate qualities or materials not offered on Redbubble. The account was created after an associated account was disabled, or the account was found to be owned or operated by someone under 16 years of age. Now here's the one that stands out to me. The products listed in the shop may not have been originally created by the user. How much you want to bet that all those fucking counterfeit
Well Hello shirts.
The Well Hello shirts got us banned.
Yeah.
No, I have almost no doubt that that's why we're not on Redbubble anymore. It's because all the people ripping us off. And you would go in and flag them, didn't you? Or did I flag
I just got tired of it after a while.
So that's probably why you can't use Redbubble anymore, is because somebody ripped us off and then they thought we ripped them off.
Much like YouTube, I say fuck them.
So now we're moving on to Cafe Press. And whatever day this episode airs, I promise we'll have well, we have some work to do. You have some work to do because never.
Did I get all the artwork to you?
Right. Yeah. There's a couple of things I need, and I should have said that.
Let me know what you need.
I better do that. Okay. How many will we want to do? Are we done?
We're good. Well, I mean, do you have enough for 2 more episodes is the question.
Yes.
Okay.